Hello and welcome to another episode of MarketEd.Live, the show that allows you to listen to all sorts of weird and wonderful people to do with marketing. Whether that is your peers, whether it's speakers, or just anyone will accept, frankly, now. Today is the very last episode of this series, so we've all gone a bit bonkers, and we're just basically starting to lose the plot a little bit with organising Marketed Live, which is, of course, the reason that we're here. Marketed Live takes place on Tuesday the 25th of September at Nottingham Contemporary. It's less than a week away now, in fact 6 days if you're watching this on the day that we actually release it. And if you're watching it after the event, then this is what you've missed. So I told you we were going insane. So if you are listening to this and it isn't the event yet, you've literally got a matter of days in order to buy your ticket. We've already pre-ordered your food for you, so you just have to take what you get, really, on that score. I'm just kidding. Go to MarketEd.Live, buy a ticket, come and join us on the day. It would be fantastic to see you there and join in lots of chat and learning with professional marketing people such as your good self. Now, this show is sponsored by podcast websites. They're our headline sponsor at Marketed Live, and they are the world's leading all-in-one platform for everything to do with podcasts, whether it's hosting the website, hosting the actual files itself, everything that you need, they've got it. They are offering a very special discount to you, our grateful viewers and listeners, and anyone who is a Marketed Live ticket holder. If you want to get a discount, a 25% discount on membership for life, all you've got to do is go to podcastwebsites.com and go and sign up, and you'll get your discount. A wonderful thing, podcasting, as we've learned over the last 10 weeks or so. So as it's the last episode before the actual event, we thought we would maybe focus a bit on us for a change. And the team...
Hello.
That are... I just punched James in the knee. The team that are responsible for bringing you Marketed Live. Not everybody, because we can't fit everybody in.
It'd be very snug.
It would, wouldn't it?
And we've got Alan as well. Remember?
And Alan's very much part of the team. So so this is the Marketed Live team. Let's you'll recognise one person already, but let's introduce them. So you know me already.
Yes, I'm Sarah. I believe I did the first podcast.
When no one was listening.
When no one was, probably for the best. Pretending I know stuff about SEO.
Which you do.
But yeah, no. So yeah, like Paul said, I'm helping out with Marketed Live on the day, which I'm very excited about.
And Sarah is also been responsible for our affiliate program. So if any of you affiliates out there are also watching or listening to this, you'll have had little videos from Sarah.
Bonjour.
From my face.
Using Bonjoro, the wonderful Bonjoro.
Yes.
Shout out to Bonjour.
Shout out, big one. So
just on that, on the day, because affiliates, it's a pretty good thing where if you sell 5 tickets, you get yourself a free one and you get commission for every one. So if you want to talk to me about being an affiliate for next year, find this face and talk to me.
it's a great way to get a free ticket, great way to get a free pass, great way to be involved in the event. So yes, we'll definitely be running that next year. Okay, so you're Sarah.
I'm James. I edit all the podcasts after they've been recorded, so I'll be editing this one soon, and I do most of the sort of content creation for the social media channels, and I'll be there on the day making sure all the filming of the talks goes smoothly.
No pressure there then.
No pressure. So
Lots of pressure.
if you've got a virtual ticket and something goes wrong,
that's your guy to
that's your
complain to.
Yeah. You probably won't be seeing me next year if that's the case.
No. Yeah, well, fantastic creation of content, if I may say so, during the whole time. And actually, do you know what? It does need somebody to edit podcasts, particularly if you're going to do this kind of like multicasting thing that we've done, which is not the easiest thing in the world because you've got to have a fairly decent setup and decent sound and decent mics.
And I have to watch so many episodes of you just talking about yourself.
It was in the job description, right?
What's not to like?
Exactly. I'd say it was probably the best job in the world, James. When's your appraisal? So that's the team. That's the team. And let's tell you a little bit about the event in terms of what you're going to expect in less than 7 days' time.
Oh, I also created all the videos, by the way. That's an accomplishment.
But I was the star of the videos.
I've really done nothing, really, haven't I?
Well, You said it. So let's talk about what's going to happen during the event, and maybe we'll end up by looking back at some of the things that we've done over the last sort of 9 months or so in terms of content or something like that. Let's try and make it fit marketing in some way. But next week, the event is on the Tuesday, but lots of people are arriving on the Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We think, don't we? Us included, yeah, we'll be there. We think, don't we, that people are going to be arriving roughly Monday afternoon time,
Yes.
checking into their hotels and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is the rough plan. So then they can get sort of themselves prepared, have a little wander around Nottingham. There's also quite a few meetups happening, isn't there?
Yes.
On the yeah.
Some informal. I mean, I know that some of you are talking to each other about making sure that you meet up. There does seem to be quite a lot of activity on Twitter about when people are going, what time, where they're going to go. We're all staying at the Lace Market Hotel, which is the nearest one. The speakers are also staying there as well. I don't think that's a secret. So if you want to come and mob those, but if you we do encourage you to interact with the speakers.
Yes.
Whilst they're there. Even if there's sort of informal meetups, we're all going to be around, right, on Monday evening for drinks.
We've got another member of the team, JP, who works for Like My Media as well. We'll be heading out with Sarah to meet up with people and chat with them on the Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
If you just let us know where you are on Twitter, to the MarketEd.Live Twitter, we can come and find you.
Mm-hmm. Also, like, if you've got any questions or if you want to talk or anything, we're there on the Monday to help you prepare for the next day. So yeah, I really can't believe how soon it's going to be.
Which
here.
we will not be stressed about at
No.
all.
We won't be.
I feel like we've been talking about this for a very long time, and it always seems to be like ages away, and then all of a sudden it's like a week away. It's like, what?
I can't look at the website any longer because I keep seeing that countdown. It gets the numbers get smaller and smaller and smaller. No, although I did have a dream last night whereby I basically fled to Jerusalem because I couldn't cope with the pressure.
Why?
I've got no idea. But that's where I was.
Did you watch a documentary about Jerusalem recently?
No, don't think so.
Just came into your head?
Don't think so. But the stress is not going to get to us because, to be honest, everything is pretty much organised.
Of course it is. It's going to run like clockwork.
Let's hope so. So Monday night, not too many drinks, but enough to get you friendly with people. I'm not overly friendly, obviously.
Maybe be careful what you say there.
No, let's have a great time on Monday night. Very very informal. Just everyone getting ready, getting excited about the event. And the event itself starts at 8:30. Well, sorry, you can register from 8:30. Is that right?
Yeah.
And the event starts at
9:30.
9:30.
Are you pop quizzing
I
us right now?
Yeah. I was just testing your knowledge of the agenda. So registration opens at 8:30.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen, do we think, when people register? Have we discussed that? I'm not even sure we've discussed that
I feel
properly.
like we're being put on the spot right now. No, we have.
Official networking opportunity, isn't it? I guess you can just start.
Yeah.
Well, we've got sort of breakfast pastries and stuff like that.
And
Come for coffee.
Did you say a muffin as well?
Muffins. We've been basically looking at the menu today.
I'm one of those awkward, very fussy, non-meat eaters. So
You're not alone.
I'm not alone.
From fish.
Well, yes, pescatarian is the.
You're not alone. We have catered for all eventualities, but I'm not going to make too much of that right now, because if someone then drops a bombshell that says that they've got a specific dietary requirement, by the time you watch this podcast or listen to it, it's too late.
Yeah, the food would have been already ordered.
It's ordered. Down to McDonald's you'll go.
The food does sound. I remember hearing marinated olives. Who doesn't love olives?
Don't spoil all this.
Sorry, is that a surprise?
Good point. So 8:30, come and register. You don't have to be there for 8:30. It would be great if you didn't come before 8:30.
No.
Because we would probably still be setting up.
Setting up, definitely. Unless you want to help.
Yeah. Oh, good idea. Good call. Basically, when you come and register, anyone who you see in a red MarketEd.Live t-shirt is there to help you. And we're very keen that you get any help that you need, whether it's where to go, what to do, who to speak to. And if you have an aim of needing to speak to somebody of a certain type. So you want to talk to somebody about SEO, or you want to talk to somebody about social, or you want to speak to somebody who works for a big corporate or something like that, go and talk to one of the people in the red t-shirts, and they will help you network with the right people. Because as James says, it is the first networking opportunity over a coffee and a croissant and stuff like that. We'll start actually then the proper sessions at 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't, foolishly, print out like the agenda, and I feel that we should know the agenda off by heart, or at least be able to talk about the agenda. But I think we've done to death like who the speakers are,
We know
right?
who the speakers are, yeah.
So let me ask you two.
Oh no, the quizzes.
Yeah, who is on at? No, I'm kidding. James, let's start with you.
Okay.
Of the people that are speaking, who are you most looking forward to seeing?
Two of them really. Chris Strubb, definitely.
Oh, you took my one.
Yeah, well, sorry. Chris Strubb, because I think the thing he did around America was very interesting. I'm looking forward to hearing about that. And he just seems like a cool guy. And Timothy Armu as well, because he's closer to my age than any of the other speakers. So it'll be interesting to see somebody from my age group speaking about their subject.
Well, it's a perfectly reasonable thing to do, for sure. I mean, I think he's a great speaker, actually.
I've seen him speaking at Social Day, and he's really good, but he didn't have his actual own speaker slot. He was on a panels, and I was quite impressed. So.
Well, he gave an opinion. That's what I
Yeah.
liked about
Yeah,
him,
he's
and he
very
wasn't afraid to kind of
Backed
go
his own
against.
opinion,
Yeah.
He wasn't afraid to say what he thought, which I thought was pretty cool.
And you know, the other thing is, one of the reasons why we've booked him is that we're talking about the future here, and of course, the future customers and clients of your business or your client's business may still be at school, may still be at university, you know, or maybe just coming out of it. They are an important demographic to consider if you're planning. So we need to know how that generation works, what they like, what they don't like. I've been thinking about that now, because by the time you get, you know, they're sort of in their 30s and stuff, it's too late, right? So I think that's going to be really insightful stuff, and really, it's going to really help us understand the future. So really good session by him. Okay, Sarah?
This is a tricky one. I'm very much looking forward to Ross Davies. I know that he was there last year, so it'd be interesting to hear if anything's changed over the last year when it comes to websites, because I'm like, obviously, because I do SEO, website is a big thing, and a thing that indirectly affects SEO is your user experience, because obviously if you've got a lot of people coming off a website, then that's not good. So very much interested to hear what Ross has to say about that. Chris Marr, be interesting to hear what he has to say about content, because then again, content and SEO go hand in hand. So and then we've got the podcast lady. No, not
Hannah.
Hannah, yes. Sorry, it's just because you kind of looked at me then like, we haven't got a podcast lady. I was like, I swear we do.
This year's got nothing to do with podcasts whatsoever. No headline sponsor, no actual podcast.
But no, it'd be interesting to hear what's coming up in the podcast world, and what's her actual piece about? Is it
She wouldn't tell me.
Oh, okay. So that's a bit mysterious then. Because, that's one thing. I'm toying with the idea of doing a podcast. So, so very much looking forward. It's very, I think this speaker lineup is very different from last year, which I think is good, because it's always good to get a bit of diversity when it comes to different topics and different content and stuff. So, basically that's what I've got to say on that.
I'm looking for, because I know that you were going to ask me, who am I looking
Hang
forward
on,
to?
Paul, who are you most looking forward to?
Me. No, I'm kidding. I'm really not. So I think
at least one person said it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is a difficult one, because I think it's a tough call to pick out a favourite, but I am looking forward tremendously to Howard's session on tech.
Okay.
And how, from
brand.
EE. Yeah, I mean,
I'm scared that it'll go over my head a little bit if it's...
Well, I don't know. I mean, I have... when we ask the speakers to pitch what they're going to talk about, obviously we take a lot of time at curating that exactly. So I do know what Hannah's talking about. I'm being facetious with you, Sarah. But it's important that all of these things fit together, right? So it would be very easy for a big name like EE to come out and talk about like, oh, we're this, we're that, we're the other, and that's not really what we want at MarketEd.Live. It's not a pitch fest. We no one really cares as much about what EE is particularly doing. What people want from a brand story is how these things have had outcomes for them, to the bottom line or to customer sentiment or something like that. But how it's actually going to talk about technology and about the technology that's in the palm of our hands, which of course we use all the time, every day, and how that's going to change, and how things like 5G are going to have an impact on marketing. So there's a direct link there between the technology and marketing. So I think that's going to be really interesting. And I'm a big believer actually in the power of PR. And I think from what we do as a business, being able to combine things like PR and social media and really help amplify some of the messaging, I find really powerful. So I know that Emma Leach, who's the president-elect of the CIPR, she also is the director of marketing and advancement at Loughborough University, which is where we're based, incidentally. And shout out. But they do some really good, clever content. There's some really good content on Instagram and Snapchat, really good stuff that focuses on the demographic that they're appealing to, which is, of course, sort of students and young people. So I think her being able to share some of that information is going to really help people who listen to that.
I think that is a key point as well, because I think businesses and brands who do it well nail the target audience. They know who they're talking to. They know like what they want to, like their passions, their likes, their dislikes. They know who they're talking to. So most of the time that is what brings success, isn't it? Like if you know who your audience is, rather than doing a scattergun approach to like talking to everyone, if you can just nail one specific, then and I think that's how that's what I find when I've been in, like doing campaigns and stuff. The more targeted you can be, and that's with everything, like the pictures you use, the messaging.
So I think it'd just be really interesting. I mean, I'm actually interested in like the class of 2017, Lillian, Andrew and P, Victoria coming back and kind of like sharing like what's changed and all this kind of stuff. So there's, it's just going to be such a great day. It's going to be really full of content, and it's going to be really difficult to let it all soak in. But fear not, that is what the...
So don't get too drunk on the Monday.
Yeah, don't.
You need to be on
the ball.
But
you can at the after party.
Yes. So, I mean, obviously there's going to be lunch and there's going to be breaks, and we've left quite a lot of time during that for you to have plenty of networking opportunities. But at the end of the day, it will finish, and some people will go home, but the smart people will stay. And why will they stay, team?
Because there's an after party at the Pitcher and Piano.
Right next door.
Beautiful, stunning place, if I do say so.
It's going to be so cool.
It is a pretty cool building.
So. It's an old church. If you hadn't looked at the video.
Apparently, I don't know if this is just one of these myths, but some sort of like religious guy, I don't know whether it was like a priest or whatever, had to go in and do, before it opened as a proper...
You have to deconsecrate it.
That was the word, yes. I'm not very good with my words and terminology sometimes.
That's okay. You have to... We learnt last year that you have to write like a 9-year-old for SEO.
Yes,
it's fine.
That's very true. I'm just
in practice. You don't need to be clever.
I'm just in practice for that. But no, I thought that was quite interesting that they actually had to do that.
Yeah.
So, but it's amazing. Go to the toilet like when you're at Pitcher Piano, because you go upstairs and you see all of downstairs. It's just amazing.
Is this just in the ladies or is this in the gents as well?
I don't know. I've not been to the gents toilet, so I don't know. But when I went up to the ladies, I remember looking down. Like, as long as you're not scared of heights, because it's a bit like
vertical.
Yeah, you
can
see.
So they can see up as well.
Well, no, obviously there's bits concealed. I'm just saying, like, there's the balcony bit before you step in. Basically, the toilet is up some stairs, and because it's so high up, you get like a bird's eye view of the building and inside and downstairs.
We're up there, so when at the after party, we've actually got one of those mezzanine balconies.
Oh, there you go. Then you don't need to go to the toilet to see these views. I'm talking so much rubbish right now. So stop me.
Well, it's all right. We warned everybody that it would be getting to us. So the after party, do please stay along for the after party. Everyone can let their hair down a bit and relax and say, "Whew, it's over."
Paul will definitely be letting his hair down.
I definitely will. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so it should be, it's not just a day's conference; it's everything around it, and people make great friends and all the rest of it. So we hope you can join us for that those, what's the word I'm looking for? The bits around the outside, not just the day itself. But if it's just the day that you come into, then don't worry, because it will still be great. Obviously, that is the main thing.
That's the main. Yeah.
That is the most important
I think the hardest point, and this is what I always find tricky, is you go to these conferences and events and you just consume so much useful content. It's just then hard to have the time to then put it into practice. Like, I don't know, like maybe who's got some tips of how to like make the most out of what you learn?
Well, my tip is always that you, when you're at the conference and you're there listening, that you should be writing down what actions you want to take as a result of what you've heard, not necessarily the fancy quotes that someone puts on a slide.
Not everything that everyone says will be relevant to your business.
Yeah.
So there'll be some things that stand out more than others. So make sure you just get the really important stuff.
Yeah, it's hard. I think it's a bit like when people are at, say, like a concert and they're filming it on their phone. It's much better to be in the moment.
Boo to that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree. But it's much better to be in the moment and experience it and remember it and actually focus on the person giving you these nuggets than be too concerned with writing everything down or writing the stat down. I mean, obviously, if the stat supports something that you need, then it's a helpful stat. But as an attendee, everyone's going to get access to the recordings of all of this. So
providing I do my job.
If you do your job, James, yeah. So the pressure is off to actually be furiously writing things down. But if you do think, oh, well, that means I can do this, or let's try this, then that's the sort of stuff I think that needs to go in your notebook. The other tip that I have is that you need to try, and if you're staying the Tuesday night, happy days, you've got a train ride home or whatever on the Wednesday, but you need to put some time in your diary for planning the actions that you want to make.
Yeah.
And if you try and snatch at that, then it won't work. It'll just be lost in the to-do list. You need to book some time to go through it.
For that to get lost in the to-do list, isn't it? When you've got other things going on, you need to set a window for it, definitely.
And as well, this is a good thing to do, actually. And obviously, we would really encourage this because this would be great. But if you write an article or a blog post or something about the event itself that you've just been to, then that can help consolidate your thoughts.
Yeah, you did that for social media marketing.
I did, but do you know what? My thing for social media marketing was dead simple. It was just my to-do list because I thought there's actually too much information here, so I just put my to-do list out there. But if you write something like an article, you can really consolidate your thoughts and actually be helpful to maybe those people who weren't able to come for whatever reason. So that's
I have to agree, like, because whenever I'm writing a blog for like mine's website, for example, like, you're always learning because you have to go out like and research, and you might find out other things. So I do think writing up of what you've learned can help you sort of make sure it's in your brain, like double checking it and stuff. And you might do further research and find more information that backs up. So
exactly. And talk about your new friends. So okay, so that's the day. That's the stuff around. What have we learned in the, say, 9 months since we started selling tickets back in November? There's not much activity at the beginning, but as we've gone on with this process, is there anything that you've learned about maybe running an event that not necessarily you would do differently, but something that you've picked up from doing it?
Organisation is key.
Yes, true.
The more organised you can be, the better. And lists, like, I'm a big fan of lists. So rather than stressing about like getting everything done like a week before, like, actually sort of plan out what needs to be done 2 months before, what needs to be done a month before, what needs to be done on the lead up. And then there's actually something, like, if you've got a to-do list, there's something quite therapeutic of going through and ticking stuff off, because you can then look back and be like, yes, I've done that. And I think there's like some psychology behind when you like strike something off, it obviously you've achieved something, so it makes you want to then do more. So organisation and writing a to-do list and sticking to it would, is what I've sort of learned.
The main thing I've learned, actually, for people that want to set up an event, is that like the community can be really powerful in itself. So shout out to everybody on the Twitter chat. You guys, every single day there's at least 100 notifications in the Marketed Live Twitter, and that's been great for Marketed Live, to be honest. I'm sure you would agree.
Yeah,
with that.
totally.
So if Marketed Live's been interacting with you there, that's been me.
Or me.
Nah, that's been me.
I've done the odd
You've
one.
been the biz Paul. You've been the biz
That's
Paul.
true.
That's cool. But yeah, I just think if you're setting up an event, then the value of the people that have already bought tickets can't be understated. Make sure you pay a lot of attention to them as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I think the whole the community thing is key there, isn't it? Like with anything.
Yeah.
Like
there is definitely a Marketed Live community. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it feels nice.
It does feel nice,
It's
doesn't
nice
it?
to be part of a community, which I think is helps as well, because I feel that like being part of a community, there's always someone that you can go to if you've got a question, or you want to pick someone's brain, or you just want to have a moan.
Yeah.
You've got someone that you can like rely on. So
I have to agree. I mean, I think the community is the best thing about it. It's the best outcome. You know, you guys that have made the effort to listen to the podcast or to watch us on the sofa. You know, and it's great seeing stats and stuff on downloads and views and things on analytics towards social. It's so encouraging to those of us that are having to work really hard to bring this to you. It kind of helps keep us going really, and motivates you to make sure that it's a brilliant day, which I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will be.
People are travelling to meet people that they know on social, so you'll see a lot of people meeting at Marketed Live who have never met each other before that are already really good friends.
And from a long way away as well. We've got ticket holders from America, Slovenia, Greece, Ireland.
Am I right in saying Thailand? Or am I wrong in saying Thailand?
No, you are right in saying Thailand.
Where did you get that from?
But yeah, I mean, that's I mean, what a wonderful thing. I mean, that's that.
I think that speaks volumes, the fact that how far people are willing to travel to be part of the actual, it's taken an online community and bring it into the real world.
It is.
And that has encouraged people to come as well. It's because they know they're going to be meeting their friends. So providing that opportunity is quite rewarding for friends to meet.
It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. That's when it is. It's next week, the 25th of September. Don't forget to bring your best attitude and your smiley face and willingness to learn, because it is an education-based event. We want you to go away and have something to implement within your business for your clients or whoever it is that you're working with in a marketing level. But we do want you to have fun, and we want you to make those connections that will help push the needle further for your business too.
And don't be afraid to talk to the speakers during the breaks
Definitely.
and lunches and stuff, because I think that's one thing that I really liked last year, was all the speakers were willing to come in and communicate and talk and whatever question. I remember asking Dawn some horrendously simple SEO questions that she was probably thinking, why is she but she was awesome. So definitely pinpoint the speaker that you think you're going to get the most out of, and brainstorm 5 questions beforehand, and then ask away, because then you get more value, don't you?
Definitely. We want you to get as much value as possible, and the reality is that we don't have speakers with bad attitudes, so that's a really big important thing, certainly for me, that those people who come to speak at this are willing to be open. Thank you so much, team. Thank you for your hard work. Let me just say it officially. Thanks, guys, for all your hard work in terms of putting together the podcast and being on the podcast and all the rest of it. It's been quite an experience, I think, in itself, producing a podcast.
Good fun.
Really good, positive experience, something that we're going to do more of, and Sarah's hinted at something that she wants to do as well. So, we've found that podcasting really has been great for helping get the message out there. And we've hoped for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube that you've enjoyed actually seeing what's going on as well as we do this kind of show. So thank you, guys.
No worries.
Cool. Thank you for having us.
So that's it from this season of the Marketed Live podcast. If you haven't got a ticket, you know what to do by now. MarketEd.Live is where you need to go and get your ticket, and we will hopefully see you next week. The podcast should, once we've done some analysis and decided that it works, return for next year's event. So until then, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.